Just got a tip, there's no debate. I know a gent that'll set you straight. It's Vinny Valentine. Good fellow who's got what it takes. A New Yorker to make no mistake. It's Vinny Valentine. And if you're feeling real blue, call on Vinny. He's gonna tell you who's better than you. Elizabeth Street, Little Italy. Hangs with his pals, yeah, that's where he'll be. It's Vinny, a friend of mine. Stand-up guy from the Lower East Side. Take it from me, he's one of a kind. It's Vinny Valentine.
Who's better than you? Welcome to Tell It Like It Is, Vinny and Carisa show.
Hi there.
Hello,
Hi,
baby.
Vinny.
How are you?
I'm good.
Nice to see you
nice
again.
Nice to see you.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
It has.
Happy to be back.
And it's nice to see you.
Nice to see
and
you.
I'm happy that you're back also.
All right.
You know, we've had some replacements while you were gone.
I know.
Nobody was like you, though.
Oh, thank you,
You know?
Vinny.
And you know, before I forget, there's this guy that I grew up with, very good friend of mine. And, you know, I want to say hello to him and his wife.
Okay.
His name is David. His wife's name is Tony. And they live in a West Village on Spring Street in Thompson. Or is it Sullivan? Sullivan and Thompson.
Okay.
And no, not Sullivan and Thompson. Sullivan and Spring. I was close.
Wait, so what are their names again?
David
And Tony?
and Tony. Her name
David
is Tony.
and Tony.
Hey, what you doing?
Hi. Hey, how you
It's
doing?
my boy.
How you
You
doing?
know? And he's been with me through all my ordeals with the problems that I've had and all that. We grew up, I knew his whole family.
Okay.
And his father used to say, his mother and father, you better stay away from that Vinny Vella.
Oh, sure.
You know? But they love me anyway.
Of course they do.
Anyway, but today we have a great show.
We do.
And I have a very good friend of mine here today, JT Talent and Casting.
Okay.
And he's been around for a while. And good friend of mine, except he calls me too much.
I maybe don't call you enough.
Yeah, calls me like every day. It's okay.
Oh, JT.
I like him. I don't want to say anything because then he'll stop calling me.
Oh, that's, yeah. Be careful what you wish for, right, Vinny?
Yeah, you're right. But
Yeah.
he calls me every day.
Aw.
He's all right.
Okay.
And but anyway, I'd like to introduce him and another actor and friend,
Right.
Anthony Ferro.
Yes, Anthony Ferro. Yes.
And so we got some great guests on tonight. Give them a
Okay,
nice
so
hand.
welcome.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey,
How you
Carissa.
doing?
How
Been a
are you
while.
doing? My
Good,
God,
I'm
Carissa, you look
good.
amazing.
Thank you. You're very kind.
I haven't seen you in so long.
I know.
And congratulations on
Thank
everything.
you so much.
Wow.
Yeah. I know. Just growing human beings. No big deal.
That's so
Just a
good.
small feat.
Tell us what you're up to now, JT.
Well, you know, since the last time I was on the show, which was last month, I'm working on a magazine, which I'm the talent booker with Joe Bennett, who's the owner. And we got some great people in it. And we got you on the cover of December, which is going to be amazing. And we wrote articles, basically about industry and about different people. And recently I wrapped up my TV series up on Sugar Hill, which we're doing the premiere on the 29th. And that's director, Austin Botnick. We talked about that the last time, Botnick. But one of the biggest news that I just got, a friend of mine, Dave Paul, and this guy named Richard Kern, they just signed a 10-picture feature film. They're going to be doing, how do you say it, Tony?
Annadella Rises.
Annadella Rises. So they're going to be doing one picture a year, and they basically hired me as casting director and producer today. I'm signing the contracts in a couple of days.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good for you.
No, I'm excited. They're great people to work with. I just wrapped up a movie with Joe Wallace. He directed the movie called Bare Knuckle Brawler. And I got, Danny Trejo, I got attached to that, and I worked on the casting with Joe. When we had some great people. Joe's a brilliant, brilliant guy. Martin Cove was in it. Deborah Twist was in it.
John Bianco.
And John Bianco, Tony Ferro.
I'm a second unit director on it.
Yep, we had great people attached. And Clinton Road we did with Steve Stanulis and Richard Grieco. And,
I know Steve Stanulis.
Yep.
From back in the day, sure.
We had Vincent
Yeah.
Pastore, Ice-T, and we just wrapped that up. And Donna McKenna is the casting director, and I was the casting associate. But one of the most exciting things I like,
What?
I got a phone call.
Yes.
And this concerns Mr. Vinny Vella right there.
Okay.
I get a phone call, and it's this guy Silky. Now, I don't know if you remember, Carissa.
Right.
But back in the day when I used to manage you, there was a tall Afro-American guy, very well-dressed, used to come out with us all the time, with another guy, Billy, from Times Square Art Center.
Okay.
And he used to come out with us a lot.
Okay.
Anyway, he calls me up and he goes, JT, I got something really good for you.
Okay.
I need a mob guy. He's got to be a good actor to go to North Carolina to shoot this scene in a movie called David, which is basically kind of like a mob type, twisted, a little bit of everything, but they need one guy to play like one of the leaders. So who do you think I said? I said, there's one guy that I know that fits that description, and
This
that's Vinny
guy.
Vella. And the first thing that I said,
What?
I said, North Carolina, please tell me this pay. And then he goes, oh yeah, we're going to pay Vinny very well. He goes, we'll take care of his flight. We're going to take care of everything. So I said, really? I said, well, when are you shooting? He goes, February. I said, all right, if you're shooting February, I got a perfect thing. I'm going to give you Vinny's number, let you deal with it, and you talk to him, and then Vinny spoke to him, and they worked it out, and everything's
That
great.
was it. And you
Good,
going
congratulations.
to warm weather in February is ideal for you.
Yeah, it's going to
yeah.
be beautiful.
North
Yeah.
Carolina.
North Carolina.
No, wait. North is.
Well, south
is
from
a
here.
little warmer.
Warmer, right, but you're still getting out of here.
Yeah.
You're getting out of New York, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Wanna come?
Flying south, yes.
Yes, okay.
Sure, I'll go.
And, I got to say, this guy right here, Tony,
Yes. Tony, how you doing?
one of the guys I've been working
Now
with
they call you
forever.
Tony or Anthony?
My mother, my father, my grandmother, they always called me Anthony. And then I've also worked construction, and out in the field, people call me Tony. So basically, whatever somebody's comfortable with, I don't mind, as long as you call me for dinner.
I love that. There
A
you
friend
go.
of mine, his name is Anthony, but everybody calls him Tony.
Yeah,
So I call you Tony.
all right.
There you go.
So I have this magazine in front of me.
Yes.
All right. So tell me, now this is new, right, JT?
Yeah, I just saw.
This is a newer magazine.
3
okay.
months ago, I became the talent booker for it, and I was fortunate enough to put a lot of people that I work with, in the magazine, and I put Tony in there,
Sure
and
did.
his story is pretty interesting. If
Oh,
you
let me make
read
sure it
all the
opens
stuff
it up,
he's been
yeah.
doing, unbelievable.
And so here we have this.
Yes, that's
So,
him.
and the caption is what? The caption is, what did you say it was? A lifetime achievement in only 8 years. So
Yes.
what happened?
Well, what happened was that I always wanted to be an actor. I'm a Pisces. I'm very, I have a very sensitive. I have a lot of different emotions. So when I was younger, I always I felt like I related to actors, and that I wanted to express myself through acting. So the first movie I did was All the Marbles with Peter Falk, and what it was a wrestling movie, and it was a cattle call. And a cattle call means is, let's say they want to fill up a stadium.
Right.
They'll hire maybe 100, 200 people,
Right.
and they'll move them like 15 times to make the stadium
Sure.
appear that it's full.
Of course.
So that was my first movie, and there was this lady, she was knitting, and every time she moved, I would help her, and then we'd move. And then she finally gave me a card, and she says, I want you to call this casting company. I appreciate your help. See what they would do for you.
Nice.
So I went ahead and called them. And the second movie I was in was 6 weeks with Mary Taylor Moore and Dudley Moore. It's a movie about Dudley Moore is running for office or something.
Right, right.
And then I got a movie, in Emilio Estevez's first movie, called In Custody of Strangers, with Emilio Estevez and Martin Sheen, his father.
Yeah.
So we went to San Pedro, a fish cannery, And it was like a foreman was giving out jobs in the morning, but he was giving it to all his friends. So Emilio was getting upset with that, and he threw his donut and his coffee at him. There was a fight, and I got to break up the fight between Emilio
that's
Estevez
fun.
and Martin Sheen.
Wow.
And I was, to me, it was like so exciting.
Yeah.
These are movie stars, and I'm just a kid, and I knew I loved it. That's what I wanted to do. So I went home that day, and my father, he's an old Sicilian guy. He wants to know what you're doing, what's your time. So I go home, and he goes, what'd you do today, son? I said, Dad, I was in a movie. He goes, well, what'd you do? I went to a cannery. The guy was in the union. He was giving his jobs away to his friends, and there was a fight. I broke it up. And he says, oh, that's nice. He says, well, tomorrow I'm going to get you a real job. I'm taking you down to the union hall. I'm going to make you a union carpenter. You're going to become a business rep. You're going to go through this and that. That's going to be your life.
Oh my gosh, that was it.
So I stopped acting. I've been in construction most of my life.
Right.
When I got to like 50 years old, because I'm 58 years old, I decided, some of my friends were passing. I started to feel the aches and pains of construction. I decided that maybe it was time to go back to my passion of making movies.
Yeah.
So I met JT, and we started with some small things and
Yep.
some extra work, and one thing led to another.
Long time ago.
I've done like 15 movies in the last 5 years. I had this wonderful article written. I was in vinyl. I actually just left tonight. I was in The Irishman.
Yep.
I worked with Joe
Which
Pesci.
one?
The Irishman
And
with Joe
Vinny's in that.
Pesci. I worked with Joe Pesci today. I worked with De Niro. It's about half of
Is
it's
it
really
principal work that you're doing today?
I just left today. I just came from there to here,
Featured.
so I could be on your show.
He had features.
So anyway, so that's what the magazine explains. That I started again. I was in Bare Knuckle Brawler. I was a second unit director on that. I was in Joe's movie Around Every Corner. So basically, I started
Breaking Point.
Breaking Point. I took everything that I can, and I don't have no acting experience. I would use somebody's project as my learning experience. And one thing led to another. I started getting some momentum, and people say that I'm okay. And the next thing you know, I've been on Blacklist. I've been on Billions. I've been on Gotham. I've been on. So it's starting to snowball now, and I seem to lack a little bit of self-confidence because I don't believe that I have the charisma that I'm watching these real actors on television. But other people like JT and some other people around me, they've seen past that, and I actually have some momentum going. Even like today, I did a scene today with Joe Pesci, and we're in the studio, and it's hot, and I'm a gangster. I got a big suit on and an overcoat on, and it's hot in there, But I went ahead, and it reminded me of the Donnie Brasco story when Pacino was discussing with Donnie Brasco about Donnie wanted to give him the money to buy the boat, and he has his hands in his pocket, and Pacino's going, "Hey, what are we doing? It's 50 degrees. It's cold out here. I want to go inside. What do you want to talk about?" So what I did is I remembered that. I stuck my hands in my pocket, and as we're doing the scene, Joe turns around, looks at me, goes, you look like it's 40 degrees in here. He goes, you know what? I like that. He says, I like what you're doing, kid. So anyway, the thing about it is that when you start to get comments from people like that, it sort of validates that maybe it's not a dream. Everybody wants to be an actor. There's a certain line that you just feel it's maybe an unattainable goal.
Right, yeah.
But then you start getting on the momentum side, and people around you actually believe in you more than you believe in yourself. And it's starting to evolve, and that's what
Right.
the article is about.
Sure, that's what it's about.
Yeah, so it's a very exciting time
Oh,
right now
good for
me.
you. Do you feel like, even say at your age, you have a later start to acting? Do you feel that on some level too that you don't care? Like you just want to do it because you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you go to do something in life that you love doing, you just do it because you love it, and the expectation, you're like, I don't even care where this goes. I just want to do it because it excites me. It comes from such a genuine place.
That it does, and
There's no pressure. You're not applying any pressure. Like I have to get this work. I have to do this. Because I know when Vinny fell into acting, he fell into acting. You fell. You landed.
Ago.
Yeah, years ago.
Yeah.
But it just happened too. It just happened, right?
Yeah, it just,
Do you feel like it's?
when I least expected, I just fell right into it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
really,
happens.
really nice. And then like, I started out with some background stuff,
Right.
because I'm in the union. Our first movie was called, Identical. I made a low budget movie. $800,000 low-budget movie with my partner out in California, and we had John Togo, who was Wolf from Miami CSI,
Yeah.
Ed Asner, and we're actually the ones that stole Aaron Rafem off of General Hospital. He was Morgan on General Hospital.
Come on, sure.
So we used him in our movie, and
Yeah.
he never went back. So anyway, so in order, my agreement with this movie is so the director could keep his creative flow, is I would control everything on the set, because the union will tear down stuff and put it up unnecessarily, and I controlled all that, and the actors made sure everything was happy. But part of the of my agreement was that I would get a SAG card and I would get a couple
Good.
lines so I
Sure.
could get into the union.
Of course.
So then I wind up, working with the union. It's hard to get in the union, so you start with background. And a lot of people think that background's not the way to start, but let me tell you, when you're on the set, you never know what's going to happen.
I agree with you. You have to start somewhere and you have to learn.
Yeah.
So one
I've done
day-
background work,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
back in the
So
day.
one day I get sent to
Yeah.
go do this one job, and it's on vinyl. And I'm working with Bobby Cannavale, which you know who he is, Ray Romano, Bobby Finero from Sopranos,
Oh, great
Armin
guy.
Garo from Sopranos, and Bo Diddle, and me. I'm with 5 real actors and me, and it's like I'm 3 days I get to spend with these guys, and you're right. It didn't matter what we were doing. I
You
was
played
just
the bodyguard.
I was just happy to be there. Next thing you know, when it aired, episode 10, it was the most amazing thing. And people say, well, did you have a line? Everybody wants to say, did you
know.
have a line? And it's like, you know what? Somebody knocked at the door like in a social club. And they told me in my ear who it was. And I went to Bobby Finero and whispered in his ear who it was. And he went to Armin and whispered in his ear, and Armin gave me the nod to open the door, and I let Ray Romano in. At that point, with no dialogue, we were all equal.
Yeah.
And to me, that was really, really
That's a
amazing,
very good
exciting.
point. It's- yeah.
And
Great scene, too.
and I had 5 minutes on HBO with the best headshot out of all 10 episodes, and they made me so obvious that I had a shot at a contract work in a supporting role in season 2, and they cut the show. So you have
You
those
were
kind
on
of
the trailers.
obstacles that you
were
have.
one of the trailers.
Excuse me?
There was one of the
Oh yeah,
trailers you
I'm
were in.
all over on the television, and everything, and so you'd see it, and unfortunately it was it was canceled, but I'm still friends with them. Matter of fact, I just seen them also on the set.
Sure,
And,
sure.
You said you worked with Pesci today?
I work with Pesci. I work with Pesci. I've been on The Irishman for the last 6 days. Today was my 6th day.
6
I worked
days.
with De Niro because De Niro plays
Frankie.
He plays the Irishman, and Pesci plays one of what's his name that they never found him,
Hoffa?
Hoffa's henchman.
Okay.
So now.
You know who's playing Hoffa, don't you?
Yeah, Al
Pacino?
Pacino.
Yeah.
Which Al Pacino, I wanted to meet him the most because my grandmother, rumor has it that my grandmother, Eddie DeLeo, is my grandmother's cousin, and rumor has it my family started in the Bronx, and supposedly Al Pacino and Eddie DeLeo grew up together and was his original acting coach. But I never got the chance to ask Al because I didn't see Al. Al wasn't on the set on this. But I got to see De Niro. Matter of fact, the first time I bumped into De Niro, and it's funny how things happen innocently. I have a friend of mine that's a security guard on set. We're the same age. He's an Afro-American, and I'm an Italian, but we have the same old school mentality. I love old school people. That's always attracted me to Vinny, because Vinny reminds me of my grandfather, my uncle, all the old school
Vinny
Italians,
is
which
the
there
old
aren't
school
people like
Italian,
that.
yes.
There's not people like that in this world anymore. So we were talking about the changes in this and that, and all of a sudden, I didn't know that he's De Niro's actual security. And as he's coming off the set, he's going to go to his nice trailer they have. And all of a sudden, I looked, and he was looking good, so I did a double take at him. Meanwhile, I have on chains and my rings, and I have tattoos, and being that we were getting ready for wardrobe, you don't wear something you got to pull over your head,
Right,
so
right,
I'm all
yeah.
exposed. He's looking at my tattoos. I'm looking at him. He's looking at me. And he knows who I am now. So now, the last couple of days, yesterday, I can't tell you too much because of NDA, but we did some scenes in the social club, and De Niro and Pesci are together at the bar, and we're behind him. And today we had another scene where he's doing something with his bodyguard, and that's when he actually. They pick up like I pick up, like you, Vin, they pick on me. They know that I have an old Sicilian soul, so there's something they're looking at me like I'm looking at them, and now De Niro knows my
Have an old
face, and
Sicilian
Pesci knows
soul.
my face, you know what I mean? So to me, that's validation that maybe this dream. And look at Vinny. Vinny's been in 80 movies, and I'm sitting in front of him. These are guys that's like validation.
Well,
that
with me, they not only do they all know me, but I get chosen so much because of my voice, the way I look, sometimes the way I dress. So I had people years ago used to say, in front of my building on Elizabeth Street where I live, they used to do a lot of films over there.
Right.
So sometimes I used to come downstairs with my bathrobe on. And they say, oh, that's Vinny. Hey, Vinny, can we use your phone? A line over here. And the word was out. Vinny Vella comes out in his pajamas. He gets freaking work.
And I seen you with Scorsese. There's a picture that just surfaced just a couple days ago. I seen you with Scorsese in a black and white. And it shows him directing, and you're in the back. And you were a young man, and you were a little bit young. You were
Was it a black and white shot?
Yeah, it was. And it was a beautiful picture, and it's like, wow, and
Was
now...
it?
Huh?
Wait, probably with his mom. Is it that?
No, I don't know if it was, I don't know which movie. I don't know if it was...
Because I know I did a commercial for Johnny Walker Black Label.
And Scorsese was the director?
Yeah, he was,
so maybe
he
it was.
directed it. Yeah.
All I seen
And
was
he was
you
in it too.
and Scorsese. Now, we got to meet Scorsese. Now, on vinyl...
Well,
he knows what
Well,
he really
Scorsese-
I've known him all my life.
He wasn't the director on vinyl. Alan Colton was, so I never got a chance to meet him. But on this one, he's there, and he was delightful. He's old school. It was just like an experience that I'll remember forever.
That's
It
cool.
was
Matter
really...
of fact, where his mother, he grew up on Elizabeth Street. And when his mother and father moved out of that building and moved into the building that I'm living in now, years ago, he moved out and, I don't know, he went with his girlfriend or whatever. So as a kid, he always used to, he didn't know me, he used to say, hey kid, how are you, how you go? Him, and I've known De Niro for so many years. He was the best man at my wedding when I got married.
Wow.
15 years ago. 15 years ago. Did you know that?
Oh, I know that. I didn't know you got married 15 years ago, though.
Yeah, I got married. Well, I'm with her 30, but we got married 15
Eventually,
years
yeah,
ago.
exactly. That's what I was wondering.
And so the apartment that his mother and father used to live in my building, then eventually he moved them out. And he moved them into an elevated building on 3rd Avenue.
Really?
And that apartment that his mother and father used to live in, Katie and Charlie, mother and father. I was on the 4th floor. I moved down to the 2nd floor. So today I'm living in the apartment where his mother used to live. But naturally they gutted out the whole building.
Wow.
They renovated the whole building.
It's
But I'm
beautifully
still
done.
but I'm still in that
Right.
same apartment.
So I'm living my dream. If I would have known this last week, I would have threw your name around a little bit. I didn't know you guys were that close. But meanwhile, you
He's in the
got to be
movie.
very careful.
He's doing the Irish.
I'm in the Irishman.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He's got a role now.
Yeah, he's getting ready to shoot.
I play, the hell is my
I
character?
don't remember what you
I
said.
forgot my character name. I play an owner of a meat market,
Oh,
and I got scenes with De Niro.
it's beautiful. He looks good, right? They all look good. They look good. Pesci looks
And,
good.
It's gonna be a great
I forgot
movie.
my name in a movie.
I don't remember, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I don't mean to let you down.
So I
don't
think
remember.
Joe shot out today.
You're not letting me down. I forgot myself.
Hey, I had to have my name tattooed to remember mine, Anthony. I've had it since I'm a kid. But I come from an old school Sicilian family. Look at Vinny's coming out next month on there.
December, baby.
So again, something that started out as maybe a pipe dream. I have these people around me, and maybe I can
You never know
follow.
where life's going to take you.
You don't.
I was just saying to other gentlemen before, where when I was in college, I went to Syracuse and I went to NYU.
Right.
And I loved The Sopranos. And I watched The Sopranos, and whoever had HBO, we'd all go to their house on Sunday nights to watch Sopranos. It was the biggest deal. Loved it.
Yeah.
And then it was a year ago, Christmas, when we have Vinny, was it Vinny Pastore?
Yeah.
Pastor, yeah.
Who played Big Pussy. We
Right.
had 2 episodes with him, and I remember sitting at this table, like being like, how did I get here? How am I here? And I've met Tony Danza with Vinny.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, I grew up watching,
Artie
Who's the Boss?
Pasquale,
And
did
then
you know
Tony
Artie?
Danza's playing with my
yeah.
daughter in Little Italy, like in the streets. And And I love it. You just don't know where life's going to take you.
I actually started
You just
watching.
don't know.
I started watching all The Sopranos over because now I know Willie DeMeo, I know Artie Pasquale. You get to
Yeah,
go
he
back
comes by
and
here.
watch all your friends, and now
I
we have
know.
friends that were in the Bronx Tales, Anthony and Vinny, and Joe
I know.
D'Onofrio. So I go
Right.
back and watch it because now me and
I
Joe
know, 'cause you know
D'Onofrio,
him.
we're in the
All very
breaking
good friends of
point.
mine, you call them.
Who,
I know,
Joe?
they come by here for the show.
We're
We
in the
see 'em.
breaking
Yeah,
point
I
together,
grew
me
up- I
and
was
Joe
kids with
D'Onofrio.
Joe.
We've done movies together, me and Joe. But now when
Joe's
you
great.
get to meet somebody personally, you go back and watch all their
Yeah,
old
of
stuff. You're like,
course.
and also Bobby Finero, who was the guy who won the lottery in The
Yeah.
Sopranos, and his wife wanted to move to Florida, and Tony told him to clip somebody, and then they changed his mind and he
Yep.
hung himself. Now these people are my friends.
I know.
So I go back
so
and
funny.
watch again. So this way you learn and you get
Yeah.
to see the difference of how they are in real life and how they
Exactly.
are in
And
character.
then there's so many people that want to act and they never have the
Exactly,
opportunity.
yeah.
And things don't come
People
together.
always ask me, what acting school did you go to? I go, no acting. I was born in Little Italy. I lived there all my life.
It's just, yeah.
So I used to see these guys, they would knock people down, give them a beating and get arrested and all that. And now I'm doing the same thing. Now I'm killing them, I'm stabbing them.
He's getting paid a lot of money to do it.
And I'm getting patted on the back.
It's really
But before,
funny.
when you said you college, I went to college too.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
I went to-
Rikers?
No,
College of Hard Knocks.
RIC.
R.I. State?
Yeah. Well, everybody says RIC. Where's that? Rhode Island. Oh, Rikers Island.
That's right.
Yeah, I went to.
That's right. That's
I went to
right.
FSP, Florida State.
And
Prep.
listen, there's plenty of people. There's there's the aspect of being responsible and making a life for yourself and being able to provide for your family and doing all those things. But I think it's also important that if you have the opportunity to do what you love to do.
Yeah.
That's what, yeah, I totally agree
And
with that. And you've been
that's
very
like,
lucky, Vinny. It's all come together for you, too.
I have. Well,
Very, very easy.
I've been pretty fortunate all these years,
Yeah.
doing these movies, and I've met them all.
Yes, you
I've
have.
met them all, and they all know me, and for some reason they just don't forget me. I must leave.
Who could forget Vinny Bella?
Hey,
Nobody.
hey, thank you, JT.
Hey, my
Thank
pleasure.
you.
God bless
Thank you. Tony Ferro.
Thank you.
Yeah, baby.
Be well.